And we're live. Hello, 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 and welcome to Chase GovCon. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. So this is the place you want to be if you are interested in government contracting. If you just got your interest peaked into government contracting, and if you're just looking for a place to get support, encouragement, and a little swift kick in the pants, you're in the right place. I am Shakara, and my partner is Tiffany. And we have a guest here. It's George, and welcome to Chase GovCon.
Awesome. Pleasure being here. Really enjoying this already.
So, so I have to say that George is a character. So just know that he's a character. Um, I do want him to say what he does, but we'll
Oh,
talk a little bit
yeah. Oh,
before.
okay. I didn't know if this was the part. Okay. If this is the part, then I'm doing good right now. Guys, how's everybody doing? I'm George with Apex Media Firm. We're a digital marketing agency and a video production company. So we do video work, graphic design, website, social media management, marketing strategies, and search engine optimization. We're looking for businesses right now that are trying to expand their presence in the digital landscape. And we've been really focusing on the point of brand awareness to the end of sale. So creating those conversions in your small business.
Okay.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
So there's definitely contracts for that.
Absolutely. And I didn't even know about really the government contract thing until I met Tiffany. She has a referral network out here in the 757. So she really opened my eyes to, the different opportunities that will create consistent, income.
For sure. Love it, love it, love it. And like
Mhm.
I said, guys, George is a character.
Oh yeah. Unless when I'm talking business, then I got to turn into that character who is who is very on point.
For
The other
sure,
George, not so
absolutely.
much.
All
Yeah.
right, Shakara, let's go.
Okay, so I did want to just back up a little bit and let the newcomers know about who I am. I am Shakara Bailey, and currently I am focusing on building my knowledge bank of government contracting, and ultimately I want to have either a consultant agency or do subcontracting. So that's what's been piquing my interest lately. And Tiffany, let the newcomers know what you're working on.
So I'm always working on a lot of everything. But I'm focused on actually just becoming a prime and executing all my contracts. Um I, I'm going to partner with others, but I want to be the executor on it. So if there's a contract that's there, maybe I do part of the work, mostly the delivery, and then the contractor does, whatever other service that needs to be done. So that's really what my goal is, um, and getting as much money as possible. And I know that it's not going to be quick, right? It's not quick money. It's just real money, constant money, right? What you get from it, whatever you put into it. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, I know last week we discussed our goals. So, did you accomplish any of your goals from last week?
So, and that's why we came up with this channel because, we need support, right? So last week I was discouraged.
Hmm.
I was very discouraged, because, you know, time, time, right? Time, time is money.
First, what were you working on? What needed to be done?
So man, I was doing so many things. So basically it was, I think I spoke about this last week, but it was a contract concerning removal of TVs.
Mhm.
And I'm not sure if I let everyone know this, but the contract, I mean, I was excited. I stayed up all night, reading the solicitation, getting ready to put my getting ready to put my bid in, and then at the bottom, it said I needed an asbestos certificate and I didn't have it. It did not indicate that an asbestos certificate was needed within the solicitation, but when I was getting ready to submit it on the local side, it did say that it was needed. And if I didn't provide it, it would be as if I never responded. So that was definitely a blow. Um, the other contract that I was working on were just laundry contracts. Um, and it was either, way too far out for me to consider the profit because, you know, I'm just assuming, I don't know. But usually they look for the lowest, right? The lowest bidder. And because, if I'm leaving from Virginia to go to New York, well, I'm not gonna be the lowest bidder because I'm gonna have more expenses than someone who's actually local in New York. So that was another one. And it's discouraging, right? You're like, I want to do this. You put the time and the energy and the time into it, and then it doesn't work out. It kind of, it's discouraging. But 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 I did call you, Shakara, and you were like, you didn't say these words. Shut up. Just go get another one and let's go. And you need that. You need that. Yeah, that was a problem. All right, what's the solution? I'm usually that person for other people. So I'm glad that Shakara is that for me.
We definitely had a meltdown point, but I think we all will during this process, just because it's new to us. You spoke about wanting to be the prime and maybe subcontracting some of the work out. For example, since you do have the box truck, you'll do the transportation, and then the actually cleaning of the linens, you'll let a cleaners handle that part. And you said it was out of state for you. So those who are looking to subcontract, you could have just did it, have someone in New York do the transportation and the cleaning. But since Tiffany is going a different route, she wants to do some of the work. And there's nothing wrong with that. So it's just more ways than one to skin a cat.
For sure. And I think I'm weary, right? Because it's my name on the line. So to trust someone to do that when my name is on the line is a lot, right? I need to be hands-on. I want to be able to go there, right? And making sure that people are crossing their T's and dotting their I's. And hence why, right? This is becoming developed, right? To become a part of a network or a group of people and not in, I mean, we can be in the same state, right? But really not in the same state, right? We want to be able to branch out. But if we know that we can branch out to people who we trust, who understand and have the same vision as ourselves, then if I had someone in New York where I'm like, you know what, I know, like Shakara, if you just go ahead, move to New York, and then I know I'm good. I mean,
You wish you could do that?
yeah, I do.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so that's just what it's about. So I know that, and I'm just hearing a lot of horror stories about people going ahead and they're the contractor dropped the ball. So now the contractor dropped the ball and the subcontractor dropped the ball. Now you have to find someone else. And to me, that's like a lot of pressure. And sometimes I don't want that pressure. I want to be able to control some aspect of it, especially the delivery part. Like I know that I'll be held responsible. So I'm gonna do whatever I need to do to make sure it's done. Not Other people don't feel that way. So that's my thing. But I'm learning. I'm learning.
Absolutely. And had you not even took action and went to submit your proposal, you wouldn't have known that you needed this inspection.
Yeah.
So in my eyes, you didn't fail forward, okay? You fell forward, so you know what to look for when you submit your next. Some of us haven't even submitted a proposal yet. So congratulations to you.
I'll take that. I'll take that. So then I can feel better about myself.
You should. You should. You should. Because just because you failed that one time don't mean the race stopped.
No, yeah, can't stop, won't stop. Right?
Right.
Yeah, yeah, Tiffany, I'm gonna tell you. I was gonna say, Tiffany. You know, you've been an inspiration. I've seen you doing the group and handling things, and I mean, you always seem to be in some type of business. So I would say that that's a very positive thing.
That's my only problem. That's it right there. Thank you, George. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. So, Shakara, what's up? What's been going on with you over there in Michigan?
Oh, well, I've really been trying to reclassify my business address to a hub zone and a geographically disadvantaged business entity area. And I thought that would be strategic. And I was going to use my relatives' shop, for their physical address. And I'm still waiting on that. So I'm going to, I don't want to register into SAM without that right now, but I will register my other businesses just so I can be looking in SAM, because right now I'm only focused on the state and local side, and you don't need a SAM,
Cage code and all
account.
that for that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think that's cool about the state and local side. So I think I also talked about submitting a bid. And mine was the funeral services for the Michigan Department of Corrections. They had 26 facilities that they needed funeral services for. And what I found out is that I'm going to have to subcontract with about 4 to 8 funeral homes across the state of Michigan. And that's my first one. I don't think I want to do that. It's only 21 days till it's due. So I'm like, I'm gonna let that one pass.
Okay.
And I wasn't really in love with the opportunity. It piqued my interest because I like true crime and stuff like that. So it piqued my interest, but I wasn't in love with it. So whatever, it's gone. I'll check back in the next 3 to 5 years when it come around again. But I just found another thing to bid on, so it's fine.
Listen, that kind of scares me, Shakara. I did not think that you were really into dead things and people and stuff. So we're not going to talk about that right now, but that's kind of scary. That's kind of scary. I mean, but I think that that's so amazing. Why? Because sometimes you have to figure out what fits you, right? Not everything is for you, right? So taking that time to, go into it, putting the time, energy, and effort, and then you're like, I know this is not for me right now, because nothing is worse than going ahead and putting something in, and then bam, you get it, and you're like, oh shoot, it's a little bit too much. I really want to talk about your experience with looking for those contractors, so subcontractors. How was that?
To me, it was easy peasy. I just went to Google and I only focused on Black-owned funeral homes. I didn't necessarily have to do that, but just me being me, I'm going to give them the first opportunity, truth be told. And it was pretty easy. And I wasn't nervous at all about how they would receive what I was saying, just because I'm used to talking to people. And the thing was just getting them to return your quote. That was the hard part. So getting them excited about the opportunity wasn't it. It was just them returning your quote and them thinking it's not real. You got people out there. Well, she said, the funeral director said, well, I'm going to have my daughter call you. You understand, I just don't know. Because she was older lady and, her daughter called me and I just tried to tell her about, what I was doing and how I wanted to give them the opportunity to work the contract or whatever. But I don't have time to convince anyone. So I let them go. I gave them a deadline when the proposal was supposed to be submitted or when I needed their information, and they missed it. But I had 2 or 3 other funeral homes, as backup. And then that second funeral home, I met with him. He was a nice gentleman. He wanted to help me, and he helped me come up with a strategy because he's been in the game for so long. And he was like, being that the funeral services business is such a liability, you have to be careful with who you partner with and make sure they're operating in the highest integrity and within the rules and regulations of their licensing government. So I understood that, and it scared me a little bit. I ain't gonna lie, it
For
really.
sure.
And he said he has so many connections, because he's a teacher also. So he has students who have went on to open up their own funeral businesses, and he had connections with them across the state. So that eased my mind some. He was willing to work with me, but the time crunch is kind of small, and it's a big project for my first time. So let that go.
Okay. All right. I love that. I love that. I mean, like I said, we all have to be able to identify who we are and what we can handle. And taking on more than you can chew is just something that I think it's a big mistake. So being able to realize that it's everything. It's everything. So that's cool. That's cool. Um
I have a question for George.
Yes.
When you hear us talking about the government contracting, what piques your interest the most?
The consistent pay. That's what I would say is the most influential part on for me. I did a couple of government contracts that we proposed with Tiffany, and I noticed that they're very detailed. You got to really be able to calculate the amount of hours that you're like willing to do for each particular job, and then also you have to make sure that you're qualified or meeting those requirements that they have stated. Because I know for us, they wanted us to use the Canon C300, and even though we have a camera that is better than that, that's what they want for whatever reason. I don't know if just like their editing process or maybe other films that they did, they need that particular camera. So that's something that we would have to rent. So I really do like the idea that this money is secure. When you're working a small business, like you might have like one-offs or a couple of retainers. So, things can be real, iffy. So during those months where, like the end of the year, and the beginning of the year, stuff like that, where you can kind of like, compensate with some government contracts. That's what I'm really looking at.
So George, I do want to just tell you this.
Mm.
And like I said, I'm not the advisor on this, but what I have been realizing is if you have a situation such as that, which I wish we would have spoke about that, but that's water under the bridge. If you have a camera that's of a better quality than what they have, we can ask questions and try to sell them on, listen, well, I understand that you may need XYZ, but because of this and this and this is a better, factor, and it's not going to cost you more or something like that. So then they feel like then you're an expert in that, and that they feel more confident and secure in what you're getting ready to offer. So if that's the case, definitely, let me know, because we can just figure out a way on how to use, whatever verbiage to convince them. Because, within my journey with learning, they have been saying that a lot of these, procurement officers don't really understand. And therefore, sometimes when we educate them, that allows that to build confidence in what in the services that are being performed.
Well, yeah,
Absolutely.
like, yeah, I was just assuming, like, well, with the government, you know, they're not going to be the expert. You know
No.
what I mean? They're just like people that get, you know, hey, we need this done. Find those people. You know what I mean? So I'm not. Yeah, I mean, I knew for sure that. I mean, because the C300, that's like a. I mean, it's a kind of an older camera, but I mean, it's still quality and all that other stuff. But I mean, obviously, we're 20.4. Like I mean, we try to shoot the highest of quality. And I'm pretty sure that you could shoot some good stuff with that. But yeah, no, next time I will definitely, because if I could just like relay that to them, they'd be like, oh, okay, 100%. You know, we're with it.
Yeah, and that's actually a thing. In the solicitation, they'll say the deadline, there's actually a deadline to where you have to submit your questions. You have to submit your questions to the contractor before this time. And then at this time, they'll be posted for you to review. So they let people know that up front. It's very transparent. And also what I've seen in the solicitations is they actually admit, hey, we're not the experts. So if you know of a better process or a better product or a better service, include that in your quote. Like they'll say, so that's definitely something that's flexible in most cases. In some cases, of course, it's not, but most times it is.
Listen, now I love these Fridays because they motivate me, right? Unfortunately, my Fridays are always it's like, everybody else, I don't know what it is, but like everyone else is like, Friday, I'm not doing anything else on to the weekend. But like my Fridays are so congested. Like my whole Friday is so congested. But now, like every time we do this around noon, I feel motivated and I'm just like, I don't want to do anything else. I just want to look for some contracts. I just want to put some proposals. I need to get this. I mean, so I appreciate Shakara, you doing this with me every Friday. And George, you coming in, you know, you know how you do.
Yeah, no, I love being here. Like, I'm every time if you need me.
But it's so motivating. It's so motivating. So thank you. Thank you both.
So let's talk about our goals for next week. So George,
Yes.
knowing what you know now about government contracting, is it motivation enough for you to learn more or take action of some sort for next week? Do you have any goals for next week in terms of government contracting?
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. Like I said, I really got introduced to it through Tiffany. I actually don't even know how she gets the government contracts. I'm sure through some type of confidential letter or something like that. But yeah, I'm always open for it. What's it called? We had one that was a police. They wanted a police promotional. Um, I guess a couple of videos or something like that in order to boost the morale of because we're in Newport News, so it's not the greatest police awareness, I guess. You know what I mean? Because they do a lot of stuff for the city, and they do a lot of good things on and they do other things too, but they do a lot of great things, but no one ever sees it. That video of that dancing cop or whatever they need. No one's getting that, So I really would like to do something like that where it's community building and, the government's getting more involved in those aspects because we really need it out here in Newport News.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is, Tiffany, Tiffany start looking for these types of contracts so that I can execute.
Yes. And then, whatever happens after that, I know that, what's it called? There's some business behind it and all that. But if you could even show me how, like, okay, cool. If this is what we need to do to get this,
Got
So
it.
I'm 100% for that. Like whatever,
I love that.
whatever we have to do.
Whatever we have to do. That's
I
right.
don't care.
Right?
I'm like
Because
that hourglass. I'm like that hourglass behind you. That's what I was just about to say. You know what I mean? In figure and mentality.
And
Yeah.
and look, I'm giving homework. George, your homework is to tap into your connections. Tap
Yeah.
into your connections because there may be jobs that you may not be able to do alone, your company. They may need more hands on deck. So go into your Rolodex, see who you can find that can assist you on these contracts. So in the event that we come across or Tiffany comes across a contract that's top heavy, you'll have someone in your back pocket you can reach to for some help.
He has that. He
Okay.
has. He has that. He's being modest right now, but he has that. He
Yeah,
definitely does.
I'm in like 7 referral groups. So I have like a binder of people that I'm well connected with.
He really does. It's like a
Yeah,
Like
I
a
got like a
bunch of cards.
whole yeah.
Good.
And then if you're bad, I put you in the back of my binder. That's how I know
Oh
all
my
the bad
goodness.
people. They're upside. Their card is upside down, and it's in the back.
You're doing the most.
Always.
Yeah, that's what I
Always.
do. No, you got to do that because then people go through your binder and they're like, "Oh, is this person good?" And instead of saying, "Hey, you may not want to go with that person."
So then I have a question. Why keep it in the binder?
Oh, just because they'll ask me, they'll be like, "Hey, you got my card?" And then I'm like, "Oh yeah," and then I flip the book up. What they don't know is I flip the book upside down, and they actually think it's the front of the book, but it's not. It's the back.
So even if someone hears this, it wouldn't matter because they will never know what part is the front or the back, right?
Everyone that's hearing this right now thinks they're in the front of my book.
Well, the good thing about this whole thing is that my card is so big, so you never even receive it.
Oh, what?
So I'm not in the book. Yes, my card is huge. Chandra, can I get my card, please?
Yeah, send me some cards. Bring them to my office down here.
I'm done with it.
Yeah, but no, you would never be in my book because like that level of
No, the
that
card.
level you can't replicate that.
Oh,
These are people that are not about their business. Those are the people that are in the back of my book. Everybody else, the majority of people, 90% of my cards are in the front of my book. You know what I mean?
Look, see how big it is?
Oh wow. Yeah, I don't you got a pamphlet. That's not a card.
Thank you.
That's a flyer.
It
But,
is. It is.
yeah.
It was the party promoter vibes that I had, back when in my 20s.
Oh, bring some tonight. Oh, you used to be a party promoter
Yes.
in New York City?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Dang. Okay, so that's where you get all this networking energy from.
No, I'm really a homebody. I
Oh.
really am a homebody. It just seems like that. Shakar can tell you.
Yeah, Shakar, are you a homebody too?
I am, but money make you do things.
Oh,
Make it pep up a little bit, Make it try things you ain't ever tried before.
well, Tiffany's from New York, so she knows all about that.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, man, y'all guys are great. I'm hoping that we get some more government contracts this year. I know that, like, as far as the bidding, it's an intense process. So, we always try to bid a little bit lower than, because we know for the government, it's a cost thing.
In some cases.
Mm-hmm.
Because in some cases, they'll actually say lowest price, and in some cases, it's best value. And when you get the opportunity to respond to the best value, you need to give them a good value and make sure you can sleep at night with the price. Like, don't undercut it, because that's not what they're looking for when they say best value.
Right.
They want more bang for the buck, and they want it done right, and they want quality done.
Right. That's because that's our thing, is that we're going to do the job right. So it's like, as long as we got a price that we can, work with. I know a person that was doing government contracts, and they would send him like, very far distances for like 2 or 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I know that's something that you probably have to discuss with them as well. Like, hey, listen, don't send me all the way over West Hell in order to get.
Well, they're like, okay, we want you to go to West, and if my profanity, if we want you to go there, but if you don't want to go there, don't bid on this, because that's where we want you to go.
Right. All right.
Either
Right.
you get with it or you get lost.
Yeah.
And they'll tell you to price it as it is. Well, they're not going to tell you if you're low or high. They just going to say, consider that you're going to be driving all those miles and include it in your bid.
Right.
And actually, that was why I didn't do the New York one, because they were looking for the lowest. So because of that, I know if I'm driving 7. Well, I'm thinking about that truck. I'll probably be driving 8 hours. It doesn't make any sense.
Right.
The math didn't make any sense. So, right, on to the next.
So your goal for next week, Tiffany?
My goal for next week, I would like to put in about 2 bids. At least 2 bids. I should set it to 5. That's what I should set it to. But at minimum 2, because I remember us having a conversation, and you said why you wanted to do this. You asked me why, and my why was about everyone else. And I thought about that today. It can't be about everyone else, right? Kids, family, all that other stuff. It has to be more. It has to be about me, and I'm gonna be 40 soon.
What?
George, get out of here. I'm gonna be 40 soon.
You ready?
Let's go.
And when I turn 40, I don't want to keep doing this rat race, right? Like George said, small business, and I've been in small business for 7, 8 years, and I know that people have hardships, right? And sometimes a client might say, I don't have it right now. Can I give it to you next week or 2 weeks? I don't submit the return until it's paid. But those are the vibes. And sometimes you just have to understand that because of who we are. But the government is like, I'm gonna pay you in 30 days, right? Sometimes you get paid in 60 days, but getting that money to hit my account, and then having because if you're having hard times, that means if you don't pay me, because time is money, now I'm having hard times, right?
Absolutely.
And so because of that, that's why I want to do it. So I need to tell myself, you need to really be bidding on 5 contracts, because it does not always have to be the thing that I want to work on. It can be other things. And if it's something simple and I feel like I can execute it, then here I am. Here I am.
Absolutely.
There was this one contract that my assistant, she found for me. But she didn't want me to do it. How she didn't want me to do it? She was like, oh, there's a lot. So it was another laundry contract, but it was for the state, for the mental health, right? So she said, do you know what kind of contract that is with the laundry? It's mental health. And I'm dying. And I was going to go for it anyway. But what happened was it was a mandation of going to the facility. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Keep your sanity.
Man, listen. I converse with you, George. So, crazy meets crazy.
Yeah. No, that place would have got wild. What was it? Eastern State? Where was it?
Yep, I think it was. I definitely think it was Eastern State. Man,
Yeah.
and it was a heavy contract. It was definitely a heavy contract. So, right, just keep looking, keep looking, keep looking. So yes, the answer to your question, Shakara, is 5, minimum of 2. Make sure that I do it. Make sure that you hold me accountable.
Okay. No problem.
I know that part you don't have a problem with.
Yeah. My goal for this upcoming week is I end up paying for another training. I did. I love to learn. Okay, so I got another training, and it's actually a 5-day challenge, and I like challenges. So it's a 5-day challenge to get my first partnership, and it's through the Eric Coffee Challenge, the GovCon Giants, and I'm excited. It starts June 10th. So by June 15th, I should have my first partner, okay?
Okay.
My first consultant client.
Okay. Love it. If you ever need accounting services, you can pay me for that.
Right. I know that. I know that.
Oh, I'm excited. I think that this is, there's just ups and downs and everything. And I think that, like I said, every week this fills my motivation cup a little bit more to the fact where I'm not always looking. Life is always lifing. So sometimes I just have to be like, life, shut up, leave me alone. I got to do this. Come back when I'm done. Come back when I'm done. But, life.
Yeah. Well, I thought this was great. So, thanks guys for watching. If you stuck around to the end, thank you so much. Go ahead and give us a thumbs up and smash the notification bell so that you don't miss another video. So that you can fill your cup up with motivation. And we're here, and we'll be here at the same time next week. Peace and love. Go ahead and chase those government contracts. We're out.
These guys, thank you for having me.
Later.